Hello everyone, welcome to our first e-lesson on Introduction to Learning, Design and Technology Trends. So here are the four objectives for this e-lesson. First, you will review the latest research from New Media Consortium on different trends in educational technology. Then we will also look at the elements of creative classroom research model. And then we will look at key trends and also important developments for higher education. So if you're not familiar with New Media Consortium, I wanted you to introduce you to them. So New Media Consortium is an international community of experts in educational technology. They have practitioners who work with new technologies every day. They also have visionaries who are shaping the future of learning, and also staff, board of directors, advisory boards, and others helping the New Media Consortium conduct cutting edge research. Its objective is to help educators and leaders across the world build upon the innovations happening in their institution by providing them with expert research and analysis. So moving on to the creative classroom research model. So if you see in this model, it has 8 different categories from content and curricula, assessment, learning practices, teaching practices, organization, leadership and values, connectedness, and infrastructure. So it's nice to see how they came up with different categories, and under each category they have different elements. So there might be a certain category that you're interested in, more like teaching practices. Then I would suggest you to focus on that, and within that category you can look at other different elements that may interest you more as well. So I just wanted to introduce you to this innovative pedagogical practice, and I thought it's a neat way to do that. So now moving on to the trends. So in the Horizon report that you will be reading as part of this week's assignment, they use the term trends and also the term important developments. So what is the difference between trend and an important development? Trend is more broadly education based. On the other hand, important development is more technology tool based. So the way they came up with these trends and developments is that they use an expert panel and do Delphi-based voting cycle that has multiple rounds, and then they do desktop research and discussions. So again, they put out reports for higher education, K to 12, and now they're doing that in different languages. So people have started to use it across the globe also. So they came up with 6 trends. So if you look at the key trends in 2019, they are not tool-based specifically, but more broader education related. So in these trends, they talk about rethinking how institutions work, uh, disaggregated degrees, advancing culture of innovation, growing focus on measuring learning, and also redesigning learning spaces and blending learning environments. So they are proposing long-term, midterm, and short-term trends. So so the long term is driving adoption for 5 years or more. Midterm is 3 to 5 years, and short term is 1 to 2 years. So going back 1 year, trends for 2018, you will see that there are some similarities. They talk about advancing culture of innovation. That was in 2019 too. Cross-institutional and cross-sector collaboration, open education resources, rise of new forms of interdisciplinary studies, and also growing focus on measuring learning that we saw in 2019, and redesigning learning spaces. So focusing on, so as you can see, so there are some technologies or trends that are similar in 2019 and 2018. So and this is even 2 years ago for 2017. I just wanted to show you how, what is the difference between the last 3 years reports. So there is a culture of innovation, you can see, and then deeper learning approaches, growing focus on measuring learning, redesigning learning spaces, blended learning designs, and then collaborative learning. So, so as you can see, OER is still there. They have blended learning and learning spaces, as well. So now moving on to the important developments that are more technology focused. Again, they had 6 different technology topics. So in this course, instead of focusing on what they call it trends, we focus on technology topics, which they refer as developments. And I think they're more tangible and easy for us to use and build. So that's why we will focus on that in this course. So let's take a look at some of the technology topics for 2019 for higher education. They have mobile learning, analytics technologies, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and virtual assistants. I think some of these which are at the bottom will take us a little bit more time to get to, but we are heading in that direction. So then in Higher Ed 2018 report, you can see that analytics technologies are still there, maker spaces, adaptive learning technologies, artificial intelligence, mixed reality, and robotics. And then looking at 2017 report, you can see adaptive learning technologies again, mobile learning, the Internet of Things, new generation learning management systems, artificial intelligence, and natural user interfaces. So just giving you a glimpse of 3 years of what they propose. And as you can see, some have fallen off and didn't make it to the next year, but there are some which you can see are still existing. So in 2018 issue of the higher education, they categorized some of the tools that they are monitoring. And it's nice to see how they have grouped these tools. As you can see, the main big categories are consumer technologies, digital strategies, enabling technologies, internet technologies, learning technologies, social media, and visualization technologies. So what we will do is to learn at least one from each of these, not all. And we are going to look at wearable technologies under consumer technologies. Under digital strategies, we'll explore flipped classroom. That is also one of the recent trends in our field. Under internet technologies, we are not exploring anything. And under learning technologies, we are exploring 2. We will be looking at learning analytics and mobile learning. We will also be looking at social networks so that will come under social media. Under visualization technology, we will look at 3D printing. So we have a lot variety of tools that we will explore this semester. So this was a quick look, quick overview of the first topic that we will be covering in our course. So we talked about the latest research in New Media Consortium, elements of creative model, and we talked about the key trends as well as the important developments in higher education. So that is all for this e-lesson. Let's have a great week.